Breaking news, if you are a parent like I am, then you're going to want to make sure you pay close attention to this video, because in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact tax credits and deductions that you're able to take for this tax season and give you the biggest tax refund ever. So let's get straight into it and talk about exactly what you need to know as it relates to this tax season, whether you're a new parent or you've been a parent for many, many years. All right, so number one, if you're a new parent, just make sure that your child has a social security number. That's going to be absolutely essential in order for you to be able to claim your child on your taxes for this tax season. If you do not have your child's social security number, you're not going to be able to claim them on taxes. You're going to miss out on the big tax savings that's coming up this year. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the dates. All right, so the tax season is going to kick off January 29th of 2024. And what you want to know is that the tax deadline is going to be April 15th. We'll go ahead and file what's called an extension. Then you can go ahead and have an additional 6 months, which is October 15th. One thing to note about the filing the extension is that if you go ahead and file the extension, you're still required to go ahead and pay taxes if you owe taxes by April 15th. If you're a single parent, you might qualify for what's called the head of household. That's going to give you a tax deduction of $20,800 versus the $13,850 if you just went ahead and filed single. So let's say you are a single parent and you went ahead and spent $15,000 on your child's expenses. You're going to get an even bigger tax deduction, and that's going to be able to help you save more money during this tax season. So the key thing to know is that you're always making sure that you're filing the right status. You as a taxpayer are going to be able to determine that. Again, if someone's doing your taxes for you, they should be asking you the right questions to make sure they're maximizing your tax refund and giving you the biggest advantage possible. And if you're not aware already, having a child can create some big tax advantages for you when it comes to going ahead and filing your taxes this tax season. So let's say you're only earning $30,000 a year. You're going to be able to take advantage of even more tax credits than someone who's making over $100,000, because a lot of these tax credits that I'm going to share with you is typically going to be for people who may need extra assistance as it relates to being able to take care of their children. If you adopted in 2023, you can be able to take advantage of up to $15,950 as it relates to adoption expenses such as attorney fees, travel, and anything else associated with that adoption. And one of the things I love about tax credits is that it gives you a dollar for dollar tax return. What do I mean by that? So let's say at the end of the year, you end up owing $10,000. That tax credit is going to now be able to eliminate the $10,000 that you owe versus like a tax deduction, which just gives you a certain percentage of your tax savings back. So let's say you went ahead and made $100,000 during the year. You have a tax deduction of, let's say, $20,000. Now your taxable income is going to be $80,000, and they're going to use that $80,000 to determine what you're going to end up owing on taxes. The tax credit is actually going to depend on what you end up owing at the end of the year, so you actually get an even bigger tax benefit from doing that. And then there's actually opportunities to where the tax credit can give you a refund as well. One thing to note about this tax credit is if your adjusted gross income is over $239,000, just a little bit over that, then you're going to begin seeing phase outs of the tax benefit, and it's going to reduce your tax savings that you're going to be able to get with these tax credits. Another thing to note with this tax credit is that it's a non-refundable tax credit. What do I mean by a non-refundable tax credit? So like I mentioned, let's say you ended up owing at the end of the year $10,000, okay? And the maximum that I told you that you're able to go ahead and receive for this tax credit is about $15,000. Well, guess what? It's just basically going to eliminate that $10,000, and anything over and beyond that just basically just disappears. Versus a refundable tax credit, let's say you end up owing $10,000, you had and qualified for a refundable tax credit. Now that difference is going to eliminate that $10,000, and then you get a $5,000 refund. So that's just something that you need to keep in mind as you're going ahead and getting your taxes prepared for this tax season. And one thing to note here with the child tax credit is that it can really be a big savings for you if you're making less than $200,000 if you're single, or less than $400,000 if you're married filing jointly. For example, if you earn $60,000, you qualify for the tax credit and can literally save you thousands of dollars on taxes. Now the child and dependent care credit, let's say for instance you spent $5,000 on child care. You're able to actually get a portion of that back as a tax credit, and again that can give you a big opportunity to be able to save money on taxes. So if your income is $45,000, you might be able to qualify for 20 to 35% of that back as a tax benefit for you of that $5,000. So it's almost like you're getting a discount for the child dependent care. Now for the earned income tax credit. Let's say you're a single filer and you make about $46,560, or if you're married filing jointly, which is a little bit over $53,000, you're actually going to be able to qualify for a tax credit of $3,995. So you just want to think about this as the government's way of giving families a boost that may not necessarily have the type of income that other people may have in this country. After your child arrives, make sure you go ahead and update that W-4 with your employer. That's going to be able to adjust your withholdings and allow you to be able to withhold less and be able to get some more of that money back during the year. Now, let's say, for instance, you're withholding about $200 on your taxes when you got your paycheck. That is now going to reduce to $150, and that's going to give you an extra $50 per paycheck that you're able to take home now instead of having to withhold it and send it over to the IRS right away during the year. So up to this point, I share with you some amazing updates that they have as it relates to the child tax credit, but an even bigger advantage for you is if you're a business owner, you're able to go ahead and pay your kid through the business. And if that's something that you're looking to do, you want to make sure you go ahead and check out this video over here. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in this next video over here.